Well, it is officially too hot in my van. It's been raining all day yesterday, all night last night, so it's quite humid out. But thank God there's no wind. That's a problem in this area, it's always windy. But I wanted to explain something that seems like a lot of people are confused about, don't entirely know what determines what or how people are even getting this information. Retrograde and prograde. Everybody wants to say that it's an optical illusion of the planet appearing to be going backwards in its orbit. Now, everything orbits around the sun. Even in this system, everything orbits around the sun. However, we also know with this system, really, everything is relevant to Earth. It is perspective, perception. So, what really determines whether a planet is going retrograde or prograde is not an optical illusion. It's not about where it's facing, because actually within orbiting, prograde is you facing the way that you're going, and retrograde is you facing away from the way that you're going. I play Kerbal Space Program. So, and I was thinking about it, it's like these planets are constantly spinning, and how are we to determine what's the face of a planet when all of these planets are, circular, and all around is its face? Like with our head, you can clearly determine where our face is, right? You can clearly determine where the back is. However, with a planet, you really can't. And if you go by perception of Earth, then that would mean that their face is consistently changing. So instead, it's not about how it's moving in its orbit as much as its relevance to Earth. Is the planet, closing the distance between it and Earth, or is it gaining more distance between it and Earth? You can think of it as the face of the planet is consistently facing Earth. And therefore, if it's moving away from Earth, it is in retro. If it's moving towards Earth, then it's in prograde. Now, I personally use a website. It's information from NASA. But I mean, NASA's been around for how long? It is called theskylive.com. And it gives you all the planets. And it tells you its distance on whether it's becoming closer or further. Now, when I first looked at this, my mind saw numbers going down and automatically thought retro. You think retro and you think of a decrease, right? Well, I'm wrong. I'm not right all the time. Because again, you would have to look at the planet to be facing Earth. That's how it is. And then to determine whether it is going retro or pro is whether it is gaining distance or not gaining distance. Because again, it is actually our perception. Everything is relative to Earth. Even the sun goes retro or prograde. Now, we all know within the orbiting system, the sun doesn't move. However, if it's in relevance to Earth, then it would have the appearance of becoming further away or closer, just like the moon. The moon does this as well. So everything has that. And the only thing that we don't, like, every planet has a meaning except Earth. Every planet can go in retrograde except Earth. And therefore, everything is relative to Earth. Because Earth has no meaning. It is just here. According to what I've found, anyway. So just to, because I know it confuses a lot of people. It confused the fuck out of me, anyway. It's not determined by its orbit. It's not determined by some magical face that people have planted on it. It is literally just about whether it is coming closer to Earth or whether it is going away from Earth. And yes, think about it as, like the moon. The moon consistently has it's one side consistently looking at us as it goes around. So then you can look at these planets as if they were the moon and having that singular face. Yes, we know that they all rotate. That's not the point. Just for ease of speaking and simplifying it, you can look at these planets as if they were the moon consistently looking at us at one face. And then is it coming towards us, going prograde, going forward, because the way that it's facing, confirmation, or is it going backwards, going away from us, the way that it's not facing, because it's consistently facing Earth. So, it was just what I found about it didn't make any damn sense. It seemed a whole lot more complicated. And then I came to that conclusion. So, to determine whether a planet is in retrograde or prograde is actually extremely easy if you look at it that way. And that's really all I wanted to come on here and say. Because again, it confused the hell out of me. And no one's really explaining it. So, there you go.